This is BURM, the market companion to MIIN. It reads 6 markets in one place: global futures, Korea stocks, US stocks, crypto, Upbit, and domestic and global ETFs. It never connects to a broker, and it cannot place an order. It reads, it explains, and you decide. Everything here is reference material, not investment advice. The front page opens as a hall of masterpieces, and that is deliberate. Markets pull you into reacting. A gallery slows you down before you look at a chart. If you would rather go straight to work, use the link that says Skip Art and open Wealth Flow. For badges tell you how the app behaves. No sign up, reference analysis, chart capture support, and stored on your device. There is no account to create, and what you save stays in your own browser. The top bar holds everything. Wealth Flow is the main desk. Chart Insights is the chart library. Markets jumps to a market. Market News opens a live feed. Reviews and feedback is where you write to us. And the BURM logo takes you back to MIIN, the destiny side of the pair. Open Wealth Flow. The desk is built as 6 numbered modules, and the numbering is the recommended order. 1. Markets and tickers. 2. Learn, finance and checklist. 3. Correlation map. 4. Futures margin. 5. Quant terminal. 6. The Korea and US ETF hub. Work down the numbers, and you will not miss a step. Module 1. Choose your markets from the 6 buttons, then choose your tickers underneath. This is your watch list, and it is the input everything else works from. Pick a handful you actually know. The readings are only useful if you can judge whether they match what you are seeing. Now the market regime compass. It checks today's backdrop across 4 things: the dollar, interest rates, the fear index, and dominance. Rather than a buy or sell label, it tells you what kind of market you are standing in, which decides which of your own rules apply today. Inside the compass is the single most practical line on the page, the 3 to check first each morning. When the dollar, the 10-year yield, and the fear index all rise together, be conservative with long positions in the Nasdaq, semiconductors, and crypto. 3 numbers, checked in 10 seconds, before you open anything else. Timing now gives you 1 reference line from the current market state, for example, defense first, together with market momentum. It reads the session you are in, not the long trend. So use it for when you act within a day, not for whether to hold something for a year. It then points you to the next step. That next step is the pre-buy checklist: size, stop, and an after-close 7-point check. This is the part one would use every single time. It asks the questions people skip when they are excited. What is your reason? How big is the position? Where is your stop? And what would tell you that you were wrong? Answer them before the order, not after. 2 display modes sit right there. Zen mode shows plain words and a gauge only, with minimal numbers, for when you feel rushed. Pro mode brings the full detail back. The data underneath does not change, only how much of it you are asked to process. Refresh market pulls the live sentiment index and crypto funding. The investor desk is where your rules live, before buying, on sizing, and after the close. It carries a position size limit, 10% per instrument, and a daily loss limit of -2%. As a baseline you can adopt or replace with your own. Holding a written limit is what separates a plan from a reaction. Beside it sits today's market check. It shows market stress and the long-short positioning skew. A positive number means the crowd is already long. When everyone is leaning the same way, the risk is not the direction. It is that there is no one left to buy. Then something unusual, and my favorite part. Meet the account puppy, Chorak. Chorak's mood reflects the state of your account. When Chorak is wagging his tail, the account is steady, and it is a good day to watch calmly. It sounds playful, but it works. A mood you can read at a glance stops you from staring at numbers and talking yourself into a trade. Under it is the Council of Sages. Ask one of 4 questions: should I buy, should I sell, should I hold, or I'm not sure, and famous investors answer in their own style. Warren for value. If you are not willing to hold a stock for 10 years, do not hold it for 10 minutes. Benjamin for the contrarian view. Doing nothing right now is also a choice. Peter for growth. Price follows earnings. Module 2 is Learn, Finance and Checklist. If a term on this desk is unfamiliar, this is where it is explained, with the checklist you can run through before acting. Module 3 is the Correlation Map, with strong pairs and scenarios, which we will look at again in Chart Insights. Module 4 is the Futures Margin Calculator for NQ, ES, and GC. Futures move fast, so seeing what one contract actually demands, before you trade it, is the difference between a planned risk and a surprise. Module 5 is the Quant Terminal, Funding, Rates, and Liquidation Data, the plumbing that tells you where leverage is building up. And Module 6 is the Korea and US ETF Hub, covering indices, SOXX, and Codex, for anyone who prefers baskets to single names. Now Chart Insights, the chart library. It is organized by market, and the full feed currently holds several hundred captured charts. Each entry links straight back with Open this ticker in Wealth Flow, so a chart you find here becomes a working item on the desk. Note how storage works. The last 7 days of charts stay in this PC and web folder. If you want to keep them longer, you can switch to 30-day or GitHub storage in settings. Again, the default is your machine, not a server. Now the most important feature in the whole app, Fusion Analysis. Every instrument has one: NASDAQ, gold, euro, silver, copper, platinum, Dow, S&P 500, palladium, Swiss franc, the VIX, Hang Seng, and the grains. Click the arrow next to any ticker to open it. It is called Fusion because it does not read the chart alone. It combines the instrument's own profile, what moves this contract and what it is most sensitive to, with the live macro backdrop, the correlation picture, and the risk headlines of the moment. So instead of one indicator's opinion, you get the instrument placed inside today's market weather. Look at the instrument profile section. For the NASDAQ contract, it tells you this is the index most sensitive to interest rates, that it is the first to shake when the 10-year yield jumps, that leverage is built in so a stop is survival, and that quarterly rollover distorts volume in expiry week. That is context you would otherwise have to learn the hard way. And here is the part one want you to try. The button marked Copy AI prompt packages the whole analysis into a ready-made prompt. It already asks the AI to explain the situation with a plain analogy, name the 2 most important signals, give 2 opportunities and 2 risks, write if-then action scenarios, and warn about a common beginner mistake. Press it, then paste into ChatGPT, Gemini, or whichever assistant you use, and you get the same data explained again in the simplest possible words. The copied text is entirely in English, so it works the same for you as it does for anyone else in the world. And the prompt itself instructs the assistant to speak in probabilities and to treat it as education, not investment advice. This next one is worth knowing well. Upload a screenshot of any chart, a PNG or JPG, including a Kiwoom trading screen, and you get an instrument and market summary back. It covers 42 instruments across index, rates, FX, metals, energy, crypto, and agriculture, main contracts only, so micros like MNQ and MES are excluded. You can also type the ticker in by hand. The Market Correlation Hub is a live grid. S&P, NASDAQ, KOSPI, Nikkei, the dollar index, euro, yen, won, the 10-year and 2-year yields, oil, gold, copper, and wheat, each with today's move. It is the antidote to holding 5 positions that are really the same bet. The Market Compass is a question-driven framework, and it is the clearest thinking tool in the app. 5 questions: when, entry and exit timing; where, market positioning; which, instrument selection; whose, tracking where the capital is coming from; and why, cause and effect. Answer those 5 and you have a thesis, not a hunch. Market News opens a live feed. The headlines come from Korean market wires, because that is where the fastest coverage of these instruments appears. If you do not read Korean, use your browser's built-in translate on the panel. The interface around it is already in English. Reviews and feedback is a 2-way page. Write a review to tell others what you found useful, or send feedback if something is broken or missing. You can filter to reviews only, feedback only, or all of it. A word on safety and your data. There is no sign-up. Your market selections and save charts stay on your own device. Nothing here asks for a brokerage login, and the app has no ability to place, change, or cancel an order. It reads and explains, you decide, and you execute. Here is the daily routine I would suggest. In the morning, check the $3 10-year yield fear index. Then read the regime compass and timing now. Look at your tickers. Before any entry, run the pre-buy checklist and respect the position size limit. After the close, do the 7-point review. That loop, repeated, is worth more than any single signal. One last thing. The BURM logo takes you to MIIN, and the two are meant to be used together. BURM tells you what the market is doing. MIIN's Plum Blossom calendar adds the timing layer, which days are favorable and which call for defense. A separate video on Plum Blossom will follow. So, choose your markets, check the 3 each morning, read the compass, run the checklist, and review after the close. Use chart insights for the library, screenshot reading and correlations, and the 5 questions when you need to think clearly. Everything in this app is for education and reference only, not buy or sell recommendations, and not investment advice. You alone are responsible for your decisions. Thank you for watching.